Should we talk about some more? What of these do you think? Do you want to tell us where you started, what you were doing when you first got here?
Sure.
I don't know if there's any of these that are like closer to that beginning than the others.
For sure. Maybe what I can do is just take even one step further back.
Yeah.
So just talk a little bit about sort of my motivations with this residency and the way I tried to, the questions I've sort of grounded my research around.
Yeah.
The main one, sort of, the starting point for me now is this question about language and really looking at the ways that language can be slippery. And yeah, that languages, the words themselves are not to be taken for granted. And by problematizing language as slippery, can then have more open and generous communication with one another. So with that being said, maybe like words like the me and the you and the I, these in linguistics are referred to as shifters because they are inherently empty words. They're always depending on the context to be filled with meaning. So you and I can have a chat, and the I is going to be flipping in its meaning because it doesn't have a fixed meaning. So that's one way that language can be slippery. Another way that language can be slippery, I think, is in like the language of bureaucracy and the way that we're meant to sort of funnel our individual personal characteristics into these very sort of set systems. And anyone who's ever had to like fill out a survey knows that it's like difficult to sort of say like, oh, do I agree with this statement somewhat or much? So there's a lot of sensitivity that the language of bureaucracy doesn't always give space for.
I was yesterday, my fun activity yesterday was sort of filling out a bunch of online surveys for the city of Edmonton community and the government of Alberta budget consultation, and I was getting really mad at the way the questions were phrased. So yeah, it's rushed. Anyway, you're painting a very clear image in my brain.
That's such a good example. So that's a solution to the language that the survey is built on. And there's an assumption that you have the same association so that you come from a similar context and therefore can receive the exact same meaning that was intended. But the reality is that we come from different places, different languages, we use them very differently. And misunderstandings happen all the time. And I just can't really understand how can knowing that why do discourses get so polarized when we know that it's so easy to misunderstand?
So spicy.
So easy. So to kind of go back to your earlier question about like where things are, I mean, for myself, these works on the wall for me they're maybe what I would consider to be a little bit more kind of decided and resolved in themselves, whereas other things in the space are a little bit more experimental, and I need a bit more processing time to decide if they're working or not. But so this is actually a scaled down sketch of what will be actually a larger work. The idea is to install these panels in a much larger scale, so like 2 meters by like 1.5 meters. Designs that are drawn on the wall and then carried onto the surface of these forms. The idea is that moving around the space, what like a line may look continuous, but it will ultimately be broken depending on where you place your body. So the lines are very much speaking to like the language of paper and composition and like a ruled sheet of paper or the rectangles that are on a bureaucratic form. There is a space where they are aligned, but then in other spaces it comes out of alignment.
If anyone watching this has questions, I would love if you put them in the comments, and we can ask Gabby about it and dig into it a little bit more. I'm going to put about all material, so there's a different context. But like, so you were doing some laser cutting. Are the is this how you
Those are
yeah. And you engage in potential about like animated work on that. What do you
yeah, I'm in the process of trying to figure that out. I mean, like, I will either be plywood that will have to be sort of jigsaw or jigsaw puzzles together, spackled and then painted to sort of like match the wall. The idea is that they should look a little, if it's a wall drawing at the beginning, these become just kind of protrusions, extensions in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it should retain that kind of same materiality of the wall, the flatness and the whiteness in this case.
I'm amused by a few things about it. I was saying earlier, you sent me these photos that had phone burning, from like a little like phone photograph as well, and I like how that sort of plays with texture model. I also like thinking over to sketches, and there's a little more drawing like so we did it. Anyway, I'm amused by that. Do you want to talk about the which are the same? Really the same. This is the negative case from.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I'll first describe the form that I've chosen. I have a lot of these kind of strange. And they actually are brackets. So if a word is a container for meaning and if brackets is hidden, then you also a container for concept. In this case, I've used the backside of the containers to sort of trap the meaning that maybe falls away or is not. So that's sort of an explanation for this visual vocabulary that I've been developing.
I've been thinking about your use of brackets and the word shifters in relationship to like very these forms that you this bureaucratic forms, this white one, it's also but it's not specifically so we all government forms because of them and I don't know reading not to understand, but is this about your current learning?
Not exactly.
I'm just taking the word for you saying that. Is that your mindset?
Things like movements.
Yeah, okay.
For myself as an experience.
Okay, so it is, and it is.
It is. And anyone who wants to move their body from one direction to another is important. Yes, it's not one favorite thing you have to do is describing yourself. You just take photos of yourself. So it's all your biometric data. And once it's delivered, you then have to like be that form to stay.
Yeah.
Or you can change your name, and you can like put on weight a little different. That will always cause a bit of friction. Crossing the border, for example. Like, I don't know if you have this yourself, but crossing the border, somebody checks their passport photo. Your photo becomes like the most legal image of yourself. And then I find myself really trying to like emulate my photo. In a way, to be that person again.
Yeah.
To not have any friction. So.
Well, it's funny right now in the gallery, we have to look at people's ID to let them in because of the vaccination records. And this is where it really major for us. And then like any of us having a space and a welcoming space is sort of foreign to us to be doing this anyway.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, whether the review of these forms specifically, thinking about it, that's a board how this kind of information is presented. I really like the transparent version of it. It's the I guess, you know, I mentioned this a little bit last week, but I'm very interested in this sort of movement I see in the work for being involved in power, like explicitly. I feel like there's another word for this that I'm reaching for, like power is general.
Like the systems that we have put in.
Yeah, and to really name it, and to identify it to be visible on the work. How did she sort of come to that place, I guess?
Yeah. You know this, you know, other more from before, and a lot of people have been closer rooted, like I've done it. So the fact that I'm biracial, and the word from my identity is Lisa, and that's a biracial, you know, and I don't know, I feel like at a certain point it becomes difficult to sort of endure conversations of identity, like on an ongoing basis from all sides. And I feel like at a certain point it doesn't come as productive. Like rather than talk about the language of identity and then talk about we choose to describe who we are. And the way we describe who we are now, but okay, well that's because our systems feel like that too. And why are systems? So it's kind of this like stepping back away from autobiography. And also because making work about my mother's motherland, even though some might argue that I have some entitlement to it, others would argue the opposite. Because it's a little complicated. This, I mean, appropriation as an methodology, I think it's also interesting to get into, but it's a little bit, I think it's kind of hard. And I think I'd rather step back and not risk invalidating experience and knowing that I'm completely open on selling my costs from the privilege that I do have. So I'd rather sort of leave that to the side and know better how to tackle it, and then speak of something that I feel we can all kind of relate to, which is this organization versus somehow and
Over here.
Sure.
Can you tell us about the images that are in these works?
Yeah.
What if it was here, maybe? Talking about it?
Yeah. For sure. This is like a form of tax. What I like about it is that it's like it asks them about how do you want this marriage certificate to be printed in what language, and I just that is like it's talking about language. There's like various versions of it. Religion, English, French, and the system has capacity for 6, which I find interesting. Obviously, cutting out of that becomes this like space for possibility. Inside, I have beginnings of 2 brackets, and the letter P. And then cut into that is the letter F. And in this case, yeah, this is, in a way, it is about the Philippines. Because, so, the Philippines colony is been for 100 years, and the Spaniards brought the sound, the phonetic sound of F, whereas the closest sound that was already existing was the P. And I just find it interesting that it's like it's Indian to be Filipino or Philippines. It's kind of it automatically, it's inherently a local construct because it has the sound that was brought up, etc.
And just you heard this PH word, we're doing that.
So, and it's a real movement to sort of drop that and it's going to say, I'm Filipino, or I'm Filipina, really nice, an act of affirmation. So, but then you're also expecting that the rest of the world is common. So, anyway, I like this form, just trying to talk about both as like a cut. Something is missing and something else is sort of shaped by the absence. Yeah, so that's kind of this.
And then you have this like sandy finish.
Yeah. So in all three, I mean, this one is a bit outward in a way, but I have these kinds of these little pieces that I feel like they could pop in, not quite, or they could pop out. I guess I'm trying to get at like somewhere in the cut out was so dry and dry. Is there like a experience that can be given space to? The surface of these pieces are really good with like mostly the surface. Which the moment you can go with food, you're invoking aroma and memory and experiences that are personal to food. So that was the explanation that was there. But yeah, I like creating these levels of information. This is another form, and we have reveal, we have spice package, and that is seeds. And there's so much information just on the packet. There's like other systematic information imported by, and then the location and the date. So you see that these products have their own kind of bureaucracy in a way. Further, the image is, I know it's the surface of this package, and then the words that they reveal is your people. So yeah, any windows of experience that somehow form a whole person. Not perfect, but yeah.
We're very much
These are very sketchy. Yeah, we're really, I like the dimension. I don't know if they're going to be painted somehow. Would that be interesting if my shaping hand tries to draw these sort of rigid frames? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like next week my processing, just taking those decisions. Having full. Yeah,
does anyone question or just you're some other work that's sort of like related to the text or portfolio or I want to see there's a lot of questions. What goes like the feeling like more sensibility, like where are you? What are your goals?
Yeah, I had previously looked at those other works you're referring to. They were produced as like boxes, which I think was really effective because they are produced by scanner.
Yeah.
So there's something about like the light, this like backlit sort of, image, kind of working. It was installed in a darker blue. Because there's something I love about the lack of contrast, but also like the black space that's around the thing that you're scanning. It's like this is not space, but it's black, and you just assume it's and it's there. So these light boxes were installed in the darkened room, and the ambition is like, as a viewer in this space, your body is like in this weird vacuum space of scanner. So I think we kind of continuation of that production moving forward.
This one's really I'm very like I sort of everything coming in sort of one sort of looking at all this is my singular space as well.
Yeah.
So just I don't know. I'm feeling like potential like sort of post the area this is the like this is exactly the way that right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's very flat.
Yeah.
Like how much differentiation you can kind of make an illusion for. Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the destiny of what this should be. I've been working on serious paintings, painting on these surfaces which are kind of painted or folded or with a space in them. But I don't know, now I'm trying to consider them as a investment on the floor, and maybe something on this I go down. Just the yeah. I don't have a sort of explanation for these. They're really just trying to make it like a part of my curriculum as I'm thinking so much, and just seeing what I get. So again, using like the language of these rapid spaces and revealing something else more broadly else.
There's sort of a relationship with the educators we're having here to like a sort of surrealist sort of drawing of like drawing or something. Does that make sense?
I could imagine, but I don't know something about it. Yeah,
like in terms of being like not consider that. I think one of the things that like that to me anyway, when I look at some of the work with the farmers, it's really and in terms of like the origin surrealism, like that opposition history we live with it under a different form of bureaucratic habit that existed earlier in the century, like sort of political charters or like years ago, like, or like before there was a little data, or anti-politics, yeah, I don't know, like, it's just more complicated than that. That's the early 20th century for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would say that these are not that. I think it's more just because I feel like I need to be very considered in what I put forward. That's like my need to control. But at the same time, like this is just where you caught me in the process. Like,
yeah.
Something up that I don't know and to make all the trash. But I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, that's a bit of like the beautiful thing and the risk as well of like having a studio visit in this period of production, which is kind of contained and it was a 6-week residency. But also wanting to still like be generous and share with an audience and share with the public and just like okay, go ahead and see something which is really that I don't have an explanation for, and maybe you will come with some kind of impression. You brought this with the surrealist. I mean, I don't quite relate to it, but there's still something in there to kind of like take in the pocket. Maybe I can be more deliberate about just putting something forward, which is like an automatic drawing or an automatic impulse, without it being so overly considered. But yeah.
Not that the surrealists weren't being really careful with how they eventually presented their work also.
For sure.
That's probably a great place to talk about like what you want to be doing next, or like the idea of like, we haven't been able to be as present with other people during this time as we had hoped, and what you where you want to be going.
Yeah.
What's coming next with this work?
Exactly. So on a very individual level, I am working towards a couple exhibitions which will take place in 2022. But I was hoping to be able to engage and like have more spontaneous sort of interactions with this place, with the people of this place, and to talk about language. So now I can kind of pitch what's coming. So the next week I'm gonna do a bit of a takeover on Instagram, which will allow me to go like with more examples and into some depth about my interests, and then culminate it in an invitation to collaborate. So you can see through all this material and see if you like my sort of call to action, which is broadly is like a reading group that will become a writing group, probably with a bit of an international aspect, because I will be doing this from Norway, and I do have colleagues there who share an interest in this as well. So yes, follow on Instagram where I can sort of lay out a more concrete invitation. But if what you've heard so far is interesting, if you think you're interested in the slipperiness of words and the way that, like, ways to try and remedy polarization in discourse, making experiments in that vein, then let's get in touch. I'm going to run a kind of call through through social media and also on my website, and maybe along with Latitude, we'll see how things kind of develop over time. But that's sort of the broad pitch. It wasn't an elevator pitch.
It's a slow-moving elevator.
Slow-moving elevator, yeah.
So you're here for about one more week.
Yes.
And some people have been through today to look at it, which is great. Again, it's so strange to try to invite people to anything right now. That's how it feels. Well, I guess if you get in touch with us at the gallery through wherever you're watching this, I'm happy to pass on your message to Gabrielle if you want to come visit and see what is going on in person as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I would really welcome anyone who wants to drop by or take a Zoom chat with me. That's also a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few meetings already kind of in place for next week. So, I mean, you can drop in and try your luck if I'm free. Because I'm here basically the whole time that Latitude is open. So, or you can do as Adam said, just send a message and then we can find a time.
What haven't we talked about that you want to talk about?
I think we covered quite a bit. I mean, the last thing that I would like to say is just like what an incredible opportunity this has been. It's such a gift to leave the place that I was at, where I was kind of cycling through certain thoughts and ways of working, and then to come someplace else with new conversations and start fresh. And there's like an improvisation that kind of takes place that is such a gift as an artist, I think, to be able to get those opportunities and to be so supported meanwhile. So it's been really wonderful. I'm really glad to be the pilot.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out if this is you know what I mean, what this could look like in the future with other artists as well.
Yeah.
And we love trying things out.
Yeah.
Yes. What about you, Hannah? Do you have questions or Ash?
I feel like we covered anything I was saying. We're very thorough today. Yeah, I guess my only questions are like about your proposal and your call. That's kind of what I'm interested in, but I guess we'll save that for later.
I mean, to be really honest, I feel like I have to spend more time to sort of define the parameters as well, because it can be so. It should not be so open. But then it's trying to figure out where exactly, like, how to focus such a broad subject. And I just feel like I need the few more days to kind of sort of nail my own thinking on how to move forward. But does that mean that you're
I'm a little bit
interested?
I'm really interested.
Nice.
We can linger for just a moment. If anyone watching does have questions or comments or just wants to say something to us or to Gabrielle, please do so. And Ash, maybe you want to like just zoom out some of the works again here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, maybe something that's pretty in our minds that we want to find out. I guess I have a question. I have one other question. I'm looking at your notes for the Instagram thing next week.
Yeah.
And you very like right at the bottom of the page, you are referring to Roland Barthes about way that images or photographic images get a version of the self and not the true essence. And this is a theme that's in all of your work, like old and new, I think.
Yeah.
What's your relationship to real essence? Do you like what a question for like a tail end of the conversation. What is the authentic?
That is, oh my god. It's like
write 5 books in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, in Cameron, we see that in this text by Roland Barthes. He has this beautiful story about going through his now deceased mother, going through all these photos of her, and sort of being like, is that her? No, that's not quite her. Is that her? And then this, I think the essence is difficult to capture on any kind of substrate. He does ultimately find an image that he describes as coming close. But I mean, I don't know, that's extremely relational, and I feel like his photo of his mother, someone else may have a different selection as well. So I think that's interesting, like essence is not just decided by me. I feel like you also decided, and the truth is some kind of somewhere where they meet. And that's how I feel about identity as well. Like you can decide who you are, but that doesn't mean much when somebody else saying something violent to you has a different idea of who you are. Who you are becomes something else in that space. Crossing a border, who you are becomes something else in that space. So yeah, I think it's this very relational, slippery thing that may be a bit futile to try and capture, but it's kind of the beauty of that's sort of the beauty, like you don't try.
Yeah.
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 So yeah. Any questions from? Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Well, we can leave it there. Gabrielle Paré is here for one more week at Latitude 53. Please come and visit if you're comfortable, or drop us a line to make whatever kind of engagement seems right for you. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you guys. And you, and you, and you.